Hi, welcome to the Celestial Circle podcast. I'm Love.
And I'm Tylin. We're two Los Angeles-based astrologers and healers.
Join us each month as we explore the upcoming transits to see how they will affect you, show up in the world, and in our own personal lives.
We hope that you will find guidance, understanding, and fun as you apply this wisdom to your own life.
And if you'd like us to give you personalized insight, please submit any questions you have on upcoming or current transits to thecelestialcirclepodcast@gmail.com, or you can DM us on Instagram at thecelestialcirclepodcast.
The circle is now open. Thanks for listening. Welcome back.
All right.
It's April, my birthday month.
New Year.
Yeah.
Astrology New Year. Big deal.
It is.
Nature's New Year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what do we got going on April 2026? April 1st, Libra Full Moon at 12 degrees. Boom. Just putting it there. April 9 through May 17, Mars in Aries transit.
Mm-hmm.
April 14 through May 1st, Mercury in Aries. April 17, New Moon in Aries at 27 degrees. April 19 through May 19th, Sun in Taurus. April 24 through May 17th, Venus in Gemini.
Your Venus return.
Woo! April 25th through May 21st, 2033.
This is a big deal, y'all. Sit in the circle.
Uranus in Gemini, the one that every astrologer has been talking about. April 26th through March 7th, 2027. Athena will be in Aries. It'll go retrograde on August 14th, 2026, but you can just listen, when we're doing that next year, because you're totally going to be listening next year. And that's it. Pretty much it for April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a lot. So we're going to get into all of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, April, it's not a big month. April Fools, because on April 1st we have this massive Libra Full Moon.
Yeah, it's not a joke.
Yeah, no
joke. I feel like that's Libra is the least jokey.
No, I mean it's the Justice card. It is
the
figure of balance. That's the side of Venus that is the warrioress, and you don't joke when you're in war.
I think it's kind of funny. It's April Fools, and it's no Libra energy. Not joking around about that.
Absolutely not. Especially in a Saturn ruled decan, which we'll get into.
Seriousness.
So, yeah, I was thinking about how March, this was the integration month. It was the dissolving of the old era as we're entering into the new era and this integration. And now April being the point of, okay, how are we moving through this time now? How are we rising into the present moment? And this month is bringing that full moon in Libra, rebalancing relationships, bringing through justice and the frequency around social coherence. It's bringing a triple stack of Aries energy with Mars, Mercury, and the new moon all in Aries. The Taurus season bringing the grounded frequency, asking us to stabilize, sustain, and embody what we've begun in this new era. And then the Uranus and Gemini, that is the major headline.
Piece,
So April's gonna be a big month. So let's dive into it with April 1st being this Libra full moon at 12 degrees of Libra. So again, this is in the second decan of Libra, a decan ruled by Saturn. So Libra is the sign again of the balancing scales. It is exposing equilibrium and imbalance within our relationships, within our justice systems, and within our collective social contracts. So that's a big deal.
Yeah.
So during this transit, we can see conversations around fairness, around representation, in shifts in partnerships, whether that's personal, political, or global. So there's a call to bring the self, which is Aries energy, and the other, which is Libra energy, back into harmony. So under the Libra full moon, the collective is recalibrating. It's this recalibration moment. There's a cosmic audit of how we are sharing power, how we are listening to one another, and how we are co-creating balance. Because again, the sun is in Aries. Anytime we have a full moon, it means that the sun and the moon are in opposition with one another. So with the sun in Aries, this full moon is exposing where places in our life where we have become too self-focused and not focused enough on the other or on relationship dynamics, because we're not here alone on the universe. We are in relationship. So with the Three of Swords, we're going to talk about this because there's a lot more I want to share in the Three of Swords, but it could be bringing up a wound that is meant to be coming into the light. Yeah, because that card, the Three of Swords, it's like the heart with the three swords stabbing through it. A lot of people tend to get it as like a tattoo, I noticed. It's like a very iconic tarot card. Yes. We have a friend who has a tattoo of that. Yeah, I have a client who has it. I think I have two clients, actually. I have one who has it like tattooed on their chest. And yeah, I think that like it's basically representing what wounds from my past are stopping me from moving forward, from taking action in the now or in the future. So it's interesting that being part of Libra, because I feel like relationships, wounds, injustices, wounds, like themes that Libra rules over. So that'll probably be, I just keep seeing like this lunation. I keep seeing this visual in my head of like someone literally like pulling like a sword out of themselves, like a warrior like wounded and like maybe they've gotten to safety and the battle is kind of over and they're just like, oh, let me pull this out of myself so I can like close this wound up. Yeah, but that's also where we let the light in when we remove the sword. When you remove the block, the fear, the stopping piece, the stagnation. Yes, 100%. And you know, I love this card, the Three of Swords, because again, it is a decan ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is considered to be exalted in the sign of Libra. So then this speaks to the responsibility of our time being meant to be spent in Libra themes. You know, time being spent in feeling beauty, connected to beauty, in harmony, in peace, in love, in aligned relationship dynamics. But what you're saying is also true. When we open ourselves to the vulnerability of what it means to be in a relationship dynamic, this could lead to pain. This could lead to wounding, because people are unpredictable. People could disappoint you. People can hurt you. Yeah, or you can be carrying this wound from another lifetime, from a generational family cycle. So you never know. Like, if you don't know the root, if you don't have the idea of like when it happened, then it's probably from before you were born. But Saturn also says take responsibility for that. I mean, if you're aware, then you're the one that ends it, right? Like, that's usually how it goes. Like, the people that 100%. Just like repeat the pattern or repeat the cycle, or we don't have awareness from the past life, you know, healing or whatever, then we're just going to keep carrying it. Yes. And another thing that's so beautiful about that, the healing process, is this card really speaks to what it means to be in this authority when it comes to artistry. So I see a lot of people who have this as their ascendant card. So if you were born with 10 to 19 degrees of Libra as your ascendant point, I see these people as figures of authority within the realms of artistry, because they know how to take that pain and the wounding and turn it into something beautiful. Yeah, I think most of the people who I know who have it tattooed are like art creative people. Exactly. Yeah, it's very interesting. Because that's where the best art comes from. It's like from the depths of the pain. Yeah, like, art is alchemy. It allows us to process our wounds. To turn them into something beautiful, meaningful, healing for other people, relatable for other people. Yeah. Exactly. So Libra, Libra is, again, the archetype of the scales. It is the frequency of balance, holding opposites in harmony. It's justice. It is the frequency of divine union.
Yeah.
So this, again, the full moon in this second decan ruled by Saturn, this Three of Swords energy is teaching us that truth, it sometimes does arrive through the heartbreak. And the pain is, again, the opportunity to create beauty.
Yeah. I also think it's interesting that most of the depictions of justice, it's a woman.
Yeah.
But it's like, largely in the justice system, there aren't women.
Yeah.
Well,
it goes back to even like ancient Egypt, where the goddess of justice, Mayat,
would weigh your heart when you die.
Yeah.
And deem if you're worthy enough for the afterlife.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yep. So, yeah, I love the Justice card. There's so many things we can get into with the Justice card, how she's holding the balancing scales in one hand and then the sort of truth in the other hand. And I love that she has these sacred jewels, one over her third eye and the other over her heart, so that she's blending both the cultivation of balance, not just with logic, but also with her heart.
Yeah, and also the sword, right? Yeah. Like, sometimes justice isn't just like peaceful and fair, and sometimes it's like, you die, you get out of here.
Yeah, well, that's also what it means to hold people accountable.
Yeah.
And it's to remain rooted, and that's why we see that figure, which is so interesting. We see her in all red, which is a color that's often associated with the Mulihara, the root chakra. So she's grounded in her decision to cultivate that harmony and balance and peace, even if it's a difficult decision in what it means to create fairness and justice. So, yeah, this lunation is revealing where illusions around harmony have been maintained at the expense of authenticity. Again, that opposition to the Aries sun. So the collective psyche may feel emotional honesty resurfacing, relational truths coming to light. There might even be grief coming through around an ending, because full moons can be portals of release. There might be the need to redefine fairness and to reorient around reciprocity, around giving and receiving.
Yeah.
So this full moon ultimately is a reminder that balance cannot exist without truth.
Yeah. And we even have Saturn here in Aries opposing the moon. So it's like double times 2 Saturn energy.
Gosh. I have a lot to share on that.
Yeah, like that's really standing out to me in this chart. Like I feel not only are we in like a Saturn ruled decan, like you said, for this lunation, but I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like Saturn, we talked a lot in like the yearly class that we did, and in the beginning of the year, of this transit of Saturn moving into Aries, and how the big themes are going to be leadership and accountability, and like that is that theme of like the Libra and Aries exist on this axis of me to we, one to many or one to other. So I feel like what I keep hearing is like, maybe you're feeling your wounds and then you're like, okay, but I'm a victim, or but this person did this to me, and I feel like Saturn's like, nope, own your shit. How were you accountable in this? What was your role that you played in this? Were there any wounds? Like, I even feel like if it's not your fault, Saturn is saying, but like, what are you gonna do about it though?
There was
like,
still a karmic contract.
Yes. Yeah. So like, I feel like Saturn is saying like, if you weren't at fault, quote unquote, and you actually were the true victim, what are you gonna do with that? And you're not just gonna sit there and keep this victim mentality, but how are you going to move through it? How are you going to release it? How are you going to let it go? By acknowledging and taking ownership. Like, either you're like, this is a wound now that I have, or this is a fear, a belief, this is my truth, I needed to say it, whatever it is. Like, I feel Saturn is saying, do it, say it.
Yeah.
Well,
set the boundaries, set the limitation.
And it feels more like create it, not say it. Because with the Libra piece here, it feels like maybe we're making some kind of like cool collage or art or something, and then we're like tearing it up and cutting it up or something like that.
Yeah, or it could even be a relational piece where it's not just something that you do alone. Maybe it's something that you bring forth in a relationship dynamic, and you have that conversation that you've been holding back. Because the collective question that I was meditating with is, where have we sacrificed ourselves for the sake of keeping the peace?
Mm-hmm. That's the taking accountability, right? Like where it's like, well, but I didn't get to, and I'm not allowed to, and all these. It's like, but that was a choice that you made to stay small. And maybe you needed to do it to survive or whatever, or it was unsafe, but taking that ownership, like either I know that I did this and maybe in the future I won't, or whatever you decide you want to do with that moving forward, or it's like, yeah, maybe I did do this subconsciously or without thinking, and now I'm going to release that cycle and I don't want to carry that kind of like behavioral pattern anymore.
Yes. And that is really the key that Saturn is saying to take responsibility over, is through the release. And that's what the full moon portal is all about. It's the shedding, it's the release.
Yeah. And I do want to say, like, doing like holistic therapy for people, healing work for people, a lot of people get stuck on this like belief that they need to heal with the person that caused the harm. And I feel very called, like Spirit is saying, I just want to give you permission. You do not need that other person to be present, amenable, acknowledging, understanding at all to do this healing work. Like, if you are not wanting to carry this with you and wanting to release it, that's enough. And that's all you need. And you can do that healing work with a practitioner, like one of us. You could do it with your therapist. You could journal. You can write them a letter, never send it to them. You can do a voice note, never send it to them. Like, you don't need them to be present to free you from this cycle, to free you from this pain, right? Because if they're the one that caused you harm and you're now housing this pain, like, that's not yours, right? Like, they should take accountability for that. But now you're feeling like you have to house this pain in your body forever and just deal with it, and that's how life is going to be. No, you release the pain for you, not to forgive them, not to, you know, remove their responsibility or their accountability in it, but so that you don't have to keep suffering at their hands, right? So that you don't have to, like, die. I was thinking of like the word in a climax in French is petite death.
Little death.
Little death. Like, I was thinking that, like, you don't have to experience these little deaths, not in a climax way, but like, you don't have to experience these little deaths all the time.
Want to experience that.
You do want to experience them. Yeah, but you don't have to hold this and suffer, like microdose your suffering every single day because of this. You can release for you.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, I mean, that is the beautiful part of healing. It always comes back to the self. And again, the Saturn piece of taking responsibility of doing your own healing. So if that is the case where that is what is necessary to do it on your own and to heal those parts on your own, 100%. If it's with another person, go for that. Or it might not even be with a person. It might be with like money. It might be with like a substance. It might be with a habit that you have.
Yeah.
Where you're watching too much TV and you're not creating, where you're consuming and you're not creating.
Yeah.
And that's an imbalance.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
There's something else that came to mind, but now I can't think of it. Maybe it'll pop back in.
So, yeah, collectively, this, it's interesting. This lunation, because full moons also bring illumination and revelations, it could be bringing up revelations around the unequal relationship dynamics, like the emotional labor imbalances, societal power injustices, and also themes, again, around the justice system.
Yeah. I was going to give some food for thought, I guess, journal prompts. Because I also notice a lot of people get stuck in the healing process. Maybe you're like, okay, yeah, I know what the wound is. Shut up about how to heal. Like, I don't know how to heal the wound. Like, that's cool. I've known for years that I carry this wound. Like, what the heck do I do with it? If you're not sure how to heal it, like you don't have a, healer or some workbook or something that's guiding you through this process, and you're not sure, like, what it is, maybe, you can ask those kind of like defining questions, or if you're doing a ritual, you can center it around like, how do I open up to the healing? How do I get more comfortable to releasing this wound? Can you bring me the people, ideas? Maybe there's an Instagram video that pops up on your feed that gives you this connection of like, oh my God, that's how I move through this. This was the missing piece. So you can just say like, I'm open to receiving this guidance. Even some people do it like in their dreams or whatever it is that you do. So if you're getting stuck in a part, just be like, I want to release this, and I'm asking the universe or my guides or my ancestors to help me release this in whatever way I need it to happen.
Yeah. And the key with that, bringing in the Saturnian quality, is to create the structure for that to happen.
Yes.
Create the time for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just gonna happen magically.
Yeah.
No, like you've got to put the time in. You've got to create the ceremony for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's, why we spend so much time on the lunations, because they are snapshots in the cosmic sky for us to look at these big themes and then look at how they're impacting us personally, which is why we do the rising sign readings. Yeah. But this is, a beautiful time to create a ceremony like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be, don't think of like the craft or something. You don't need to do the salt with the pentagram and the candles. Like any kind of ritual, right? Everything is ritual. Your morning routine is a ritual. Your 100%. Nighttime routine is a ritual, right? Like going for a birthday party, ritual, right? Like you can make it as simple or as complicated as you want. You can spend as much money or as little money as you want. It's totally up to you. It's more, ritual is more, for humans, ritual is because we're tangible. We need stuff. That's why we celebrate endings and beginnings. We need these like marker points for our brain. So the ritual is just an extra layer of directing your energy and creating the right energetic space to support whatever it is that you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, the ritual could be like what you just said, just sitting down and writing that letter.
Yeah,
and
that can be powerful.
The ritual.
You put on your sad playlist, you turn the lights down low, you get your box of tissues.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So it can be simple. We're all about embracing simplicity here. But if you want to go full out and light the candles and light the incense,
do it.
We're witchy here, so we like that too.
Yeah.
So
you can get like a Saturn or Libra crystal.
Yeah, anything black. Ooh, Saturn loves.
Yeah, that's his color, black.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like black and like gray.
Yeah, oh yeah. Love it. As a Saturnian person.
In the gray shirt.
Probably why I was like so emo as a kid, always in black. Saturn. Yeah. Okay, this full moon is in a trine to Pluto in Aquarius. So this is really, really powerful because trines are aspects that are supportive, right? So this is bringing then an evolutionary undertone because Pluto represents the evolution of humanity, especially in Aquarius, because Aquarius energy is all about the future of humanity. So with the Libra full moon harmonizing with the Pluto, I was meditating with how relationships are then the vehicles for change. So we may see new alliances forming, social justice movements, because Aquarius energy again is humanitarian values. Yeah. So we might see like movements gaining momentum here, collective conversations around equality, and radical honesty in partnerships. Yeah. So,
and when we have Pluto, usually if it's like squaring or opposite in a lunation, it can represent like crisis and this like like big thing. So I think with it trining, it's like maybe it's pulling us through this crisis that we might be going through, or this thing that we've been stuck in for a long time. It's sort of like, I'm seeing it as like this unraveling a thread, type of thing.
So speaking of the square, Jupiter exalted in Cancer is in a square to this full moon. So this is amplifying the collective emotional body. So the tension is asking us to feel in our body what is unfair, unjust, and out of balance.
Yeah. I feel like the visual I keep getting from that is like, the water is coming. Do not try and swim away and fight it. Let it overcome you. Become one with the water. Yeah. The two examples, the metaphors that are coming in mind, if you've ever done a cold plunge. When you get in and you fully submerge yourself, you're not supposed to fight it. You're not supposed to keep breathing heavy. You're supposed to feel the cold, let the cold overcome you, breathe, and then you acclimate to the temperature of the cold. Or same thing when you're like in the ocean and there's like a rip current. You're not supposed to swim and try and like fight it and get to the top. You're supposed to let it kind of move you, and then once it passes, then you can easily swim to the top. So I feel like Jupiter is saying, like, it might feel really big,
overwhelming,
but trust me, it will be what is needed. Like, move through it. Like, let it engulf you. Sit in it, understand it fully, get that full, like, breath of everything, and then you'll have this, like, quiet moment, this clarity moment that won't feel like, I'm underwater and I'm drowning. It's just like, yeah, I'm part of the water. I am the water. I let it flow through me. I let it cleanse me. I let it take what it needs to from me.
Yeah, because your emotions at the end of the day are information. Your emotions are present to tell you something.
Yes, they're not bad. Yeah. And I think a lot in my therapy we go over this, that it's like they're just information. Yeah. That's all they are. And there's like this study that they only last for like 90 seconds.
If you feel them to the fullest. If you allow yourself, and if you don't, this is what happens.
But then you're like prolonging for like a lifetime of dealing with that emotion, as opposed to just feeling it for a little bit, processing it. That's really important. Feeling the emotion is different than processing and letting it go, or alchemizing or healing, whatever it is you need to do with it. A lot of people just re-trigger. They bring up the emotion. Their body gets put back in that same time, and then they cry, and then they're gone, you know, and they close the door. What you're doing is sitting with it. Yeah. You're getting to the root of it. You're going beyond the initial shock of it, and you're saying like, hey, and if it's too intense and you don't want to re-traumatize yourself, advice that I would give you, when I do therapy with my clients, I tell them to imagine that they are watching it on a theater screen or a TV screen. So it's separate from you and you're not feeling it all in your body, but you're just experiencing it. And if it gets too heavy, you can turn it off. You can leave. You're not stuck in it.
Yeah, that's important reminder for people that you are sovereign. So you have the Saturnian willpower and choice, and how you navigate through these themes. So yeah, this square with Jupiter and Cancer, it may bring up themes around relational patterns inherited with the family, emotional codependency, and protective instincts clashing with fairness. So I was meditating with this collective question around, what does true emotional safety in relationships actually look like?
I feel like that's a heavy question for a lot of people that they might not have the answer to.
They might not have any framework for what that actually means.
Yeah. I would say, if you're like, when you're tapping in, you're like, I've never experienced this emotion. Think about your inner child. Talk to your inner child and be like, what do you need to feel safe? Yeah. Right? What kind of person made you feel safe when you were younger? If ever that happened. Or just think about like what qualities or behaviors make you feel safe as a person. Yes. Or that you've done that other people maybe are like, this makes me feel safe.
So yeah, it's a big question to ask, and more with this lunation. So we have Persephone in Aries, which I've been thinking a lot about because we're all talking about like the Saturn and Neptune in Aries, but nobody's talking about Persephone also transiting with them in Aries. So Persephone in Aries is opposing this moon, and in the myth, Persephone's descent into the underworld forces the world to confront loss, separation, and then the transformation that occurs within this journey. So again, here she stands beside the Aries sun and Saturn, and we also have Neptune here, asking humanity to reclaim personal sovereignty. So sometimes relationships, the current form that they're in, they must die so that a more authentic version of that relationship dynamic can emerge. So Persephone reminds us that the underworld journey is the initiation that transforms our connection to love, and to not be in the fear around it. Because we're meant to evolve, we're meant to transform. And again, this full moon is just shining a big bright light onto what is out of alignment, what is not authentic. Yeah. The moon is also sextile, speaking of dark goddesses, Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius.
Damn, deep healing is happening. Wow.
So this is introducing the voice of the untamed wild feminine. So Lilith represents the archetype that refuses to submit to false equality. So in Sagittarius, she speaks her truth without any apologies. I have that. I literally wrote it in all caps. No apologies. She's just speaking her truth. So with this, we might see people that are just speaking the truth around, again, these things that are out of alignment, things that are out of balance, that are not fair, that are not just.
Well, and like Black Moon Lilith specifically rules over like power dynamics, sexuality, freedom. Yep. So it's gonna be around a lot of, and like dark feminine kind of like feminine power, empowerment, like not necessarily you have to be a woman, but you know, things in that nature. So I feel like there'll be some exploration with the Sag energy there. Like I'm exploring this different facet of myself that I never gave myself space to explore because of this wound.
Yeah, or explore a different facet of what the relationship dynamic could be. Maybe you've only played one role for a person, and so they only see you that way, and there's an imbalance because they're only perceiving your energy in this current form.
Yeah, like how they say, like, we teach people how to treat us. So now it's like, if you want...
If they've been taking advantage of you...
You have permission at any time, that sovereignty piece. You have permission at any time to change.
Yeah.
You can say, actually, I don't like this dynamic. I want it to change.
Yep.
Can you please come with me on this journey?
Yep, 100%.
Yeah. Also, I'm seeing the Uranus square. Is this... Do you have that? Am I in the right... Yeah, right? 21... 12, 21, 12, 21.
Uranus is here.
Yeah, but it's squaring the moon. Do you have that?
I don't know if I wrote that down. Did I write that down? Let's see. I don't think I talk about that one. No. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I feel like
there's a lot happening with this full moon.
You know, Uranus is finishing its long transit in Taurus, right? So we're at 28 degrees. We're right at that last 2 degrees. And that square to the moon, we talked about Uranus and Taurus ruling over resources and money, the body, and Uranus being this planet of sudden change, expansion, contraction, spiritual awakening, anti-authoritarianism, rebellion type of vibes. So I feel like having that square, it's similar to how Jupiter in Cancer, that it's creating that tension for you to release, not to hurt you, not to make it worse. I think if you're feeling tension anywhere, if you're not, as we're talking about this, like, oh, I know what the wound is, maybe allowing that change to happen, that transformation piece to happen with Uranus and Taurus here. It's sort of like they're saying it will feel disorienting, like the earth is moving away from your feet. But then at the end, you're going to be like butterfly, caterpillar to butterfly. Like, it's like during, it's like, whoa, what the heck? But then at the end, you're like, I'm glad I went through that. And I'm glad I like embraced that tension, that piece that was like showing up for me so that I could embrace the change. Because humans just naturally don't like change. So we're always like averse to it. And during the change, it's like, this sucks. But then when you get on the other side, you're like, oh, that makes sense. That's why I did this. I'm glad I did this.
Yeah. What changes are only constant, really.
I saw this video today that was like, if you're afraid of change, your body, your skin cells like come off of you all the time. Your skin is constantly shedding, like your hair is shedding, like every part of your body is constantly changing, right? Like you are breaking down things, releasing them, having new things come in your body, like, so you're actually an expert in change. It's your human nature to constantly go through change.
Yeah.
So I don't know, mentally it helps make us not feel as afraid of going through change, because it's like, yeah, I do it every single day on this cellular level. Like, why am I avoiding it on this external level? Yeah,
100%. And there's so much beauty in that, because, as humans, as souls, we choose to incarnate here to evolve. Yeah. And evolution requires change.
Yes. Yeah.
So, speaking of Taurus energy, the ruler of this lunation is Venus in Taurus, conjunct Ceres, the mother goddess. So I was meditating with how this is creating like such a beautiful stabilizing force with this lunation as they are both domicile.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so sweet. Venus in Taurus and Ceres, the mother goddess in Taurus. Oh, so while this full moon is revealing the emotional truth and the things that are out of balance, Ceres and Venus are showing us how to ground, showing us how to be in our bodies, connected to our sensuality, because Taurus reminds us that love is something that we embody through care and consistency. Ceres, the mother goddess, represents nourishment, the motherly devotion, and also cycles of transformation because she rules over agriculture. So together, they are suggesting the medicine for this lunation is tending to the body, to nurturing stable relationships, reconnecting with the earth, and creating more and more beauty with our lives.
Yeah. And I will say we talked a lot about like healing as change and transformation and evolving, and Venus and Taurus can be very stubborn, and like Taurus placements can be averse to change because they just like their comforts and they don't want to get out of their comfort zone, and they're stubborn and they don't want to change their mind.
Yeah, but
so
the Uranus really was
like,
shaking that up for Taurus placement.
So I feel like if you're not using the Venus and Taurus to ground into your body during this experience, and you're experiencing like, I don't want to, why should I have to do this? I don't want to be uncomfortable. Then just address that part, I would say, you know, and know like, I'm not going to get anywhere by staying in the comfort zone. And if I'm experiencing this suffering or this wound every day, and I'm ready or I want to get rid of it, then I'm going to have to change something, you know? Yeah. So just putting that out there, that might be like the quote unquote negative aspect of that part in the lunation might be like, I don't want to, I want to be comfortable.
Yeah, especially with the square to Jupiter and Cancer. That's also giving
a comfort
like,
piece. Like,
cozy.
I want to be in my shell. That's why I was like, just let it take you. Don't fight it.
Yeah, 100%. Honestly, at the end of the day, this Libra full moon is asking humanity to embrace this truth that love without honesty cannot survive, that love without balance is not sustainable.
Yeah.
So the biggest question for everyone during this Libra full moon is to ask yourself, where are you maintaining harmony at the cost of authenticity? And remember, like what we're talking about with this conversation around change, it is okay to change your mind. It is okay to have one form of authenticity.
From two manifesting generators to
yeah,
you. We're supposed to show humanity it's okay to change. That's like our whole function.
Yes. It's so true because, you know, I think back and I'm like, I'm not the version of self that I was years and years ago. Like, I have changed. And so that means that my connection to authenticity has also shifted.
Yeah. And I will say, like, how you're saying how am I showing up in my relationships?
Yep.
I feel there's something you said with the question. Harmony at the cost of authenticity. Yes. This is like one of those like catch-22 pieces, I feel, where it's like, I really deeply want to trust. I really deeply want to feel this intimacy, or I really deeply want people to love me and support me and see me for who I am, but I'm afraid to, so I'm going to shrink or change or do this to keep harmony and keep the peace because I think this is what people want, or this is maybe like they're not creating a space for me or whatever it is. It's like, but if you do this change and if you have this confrontation or this communication or this understanding even with yourself first, then you will get to that point where you can feel, oh, I can show up authentically, I can take up my space, and I don't have to sacrifice my authenticity at the expense of like keeping harmony in my life or in my relationships. It's like, am I performing? Am I fulfilling a duty or an archetype, or am I being my authentic self? And why am I doing that? And how do I want to change that, right? Like, how do I want to show up? I feel like it's such a catch-22 because it's so, our mind is like so afraid to go there and to take that risk. But once you do, like, at least in my lived experience, I'm very like, since middle school, something clicked in me and I was like, I'm just going to be honest no matter what. I'm going to confront things like head on. No matter what. Like, I literally would go up to people that I had crushes on in middle school and be like, hey, I like you.
That's your Aries moon.
I was like, hey, I like you, and I just want to know if you like me too, because I don't want to waste all semester being like, oh, you looked at me? Does that mean that you like me? Oh my God, you talked to me? I hate that ambiguity. I was like, if you don't like me, it's cool. I can get over it and I can just move on, and I won't have to waste all this time trying to figure it out. So I feel like I've always just had this policy of like, honesty is the best. Let's just be direct as much as possible. And I'm also kind of non-confrontational because I grew up with my mom being so confrontational that like, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna tell them how it is, and then my nervous system is like shaking, and I'm like, so I'm upset about this, and like my voice is like shaking because of that like PTSD. So it's like, I'm not saying I'm like super expert level at this, but I feel like it's like, let's just get it out of the way. Let's rip the Band-Aid off, because then I can get on with being happy in my life. That's definitely my Aries moon, because Aries, people think that Aries are argumentative people, but they just are like, let's face our problems head on like a ram and get the fight out of the way so we can have peace, so we can have fun, so we can just live our lives.
Oh my gosh. Yes. That's what I love about Aries medicine. Like, typically Aries placements, we don't hold grudges because of that.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to suffer. I don't want to have this beef. I just want to get over it.
Exactly.
Let's just like have fun and dance and like drink or something. That's, I feel like Aries energy is like, just everybody, let's just squash it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And all of that is so essential in this journey of authenticity, and what I've recognized blending in the themes of authenticity and relationship dynamics is that the more and more you anchor into this frequency of authenticity, that then means that you will lose friendship dynamics, especially friendship dynamics that are no longer in alignment with your bigger goals, because they have that saying around like, you are who you surround your energy with.
And I think people are scared of that too, but it's like, you'll get new people that are more aligned to you.
Yes. People are always searching for connection.
Yeah, it's like the human piece. We're all like alone together. We're all afraid of being intimate and doing the thing together. It's like, if we all just embrace that. Honestly, like how I was saying, like in my journey, the more I've done it, it's like fearful, but then on the other side, I'm like, oh, like nobody fucking cares if I'm being my authentic. Like, actually, people enjoy it. They're like, oh, keep doing that. This is entertaining, or you inspire me, or whatever it is.
And you want that. You want people around you that actually genuinely support your authenticity rather than judge you.
Yeah, because that's why you feel like they don't know the real you, or you can't trust them, or you're not valued, because it's like, you're only showing them parts of yourself, not your whole self.
Yeah, 100%. So another question that I was meditating with is, like, what emotional truth is ready to be acknowledged? But the biggest one for the collective is, what does balanced love actually look like in my life? Balanced love.
That's a big concept, I feel.
Because love isn't just relationship dynamics, right? It's the love you have with yourself. It is
with others, with the world around you. Yeah, it can be platonic love.
Yes.
I feel like a lot of us, I'm going to be writing a Substack on it, because I've been pondering this a lot.
Balanced love.
Not balanced, similar, but like, I was thinking about how intimacy and connection and honesty and these things of like love have diminished over time, and I have a whole hypothesis about why and all that stuff that I'll say for my Substack. But I noticed like people don't know how. Like, it's like inappropriate to like hug your friend and like do, like kiss your friend on the mouth and shit like that, because it's like, only for my relationship I can do that, like intimacy, this love. Like, I feel like a lot of people are maybe never experienced it, or they're shy to do it. And if you love, if you show your, kiss your homies on the mouth, if you show your love, you'll feel the love back, right? But if you're like, okay, we're gonna not even hug and we're just gonna hang out, like, then you're not feeling that.
Well, that's where the Saturn piece exalts in Libra, because then there's like a harmony piece that comes in with the boundary of the relationship dynamic. Like, what feels aligned for you in that relationship dynamic? Like, what if it was someone that like absolutely hates touch, and they
consent is a thing.
Exactly, because the boundary piece. That's the Saturn. But But like, it's so true because we are wired for that connection, and that's why Jupiter exalts in Cancer.
Yeah, and we learned that in COVID. Like, everyone was like, I just want to hug someone, but I have to be in my home, you know?
Yeah, because we are wired for co-regulation. We're wired for relationship dynamic. And with the Aries Libra opposition, what we're really wired for is to be in the frequency of authenticity, of knowing who we are, so we don't lose ourselves
when we connect
in relationship. And that's why we've talked about this. Venus, who is in detriment in Aries, yet rules over the third decan of Aries. It is the love of individuality, the love of self, then going into union, going into relationship. So let's dive into all of the rising signs. Let's
snap it up.
Yes. So Aries rising, speaking of Aries energy, this Libra full moon is happening in your 7th house of partnership. So this full moon is shining this big bright light on your relationships. So truth may emerge around the dynamics of giving and receiving, and you may suddenly see clearly where balance has been missing, where it's been off. So some Aries risings may experience an important conversation with a partner, clarity around the future of a relationship, and realization around patterns of independence versus compromise. So with Saturn now being in your first house, you have Saturn and Neptune now transiting through your first house, opposing this full moon in Libra, you are being asked to mature into relational leadership. So the question is not just who do I love, but how do I show up in partnership in a balanced way? Out of love for myself.
It's going to be more about like your patterns, how you're showing up, how you speak to others, how you hold space, how you're being authentic, like those intangible things.
100%. Taurus rising. So this Libra full moon is happening in your 6th house of daily life. So this full moon is revealing the emotional reality of your daily rhythms and your work-life balance. So you may suddenly recognize where your schedule has been draining you. So the emotional cost of overgiving and
maybe more in the workspace.
And how they're of service to humanity, right? So if they've been in a job that is just taking all of their energy, and they're not truly in alignment with their service, oh my gosh, this Libra full moon is going to shine a big bright light onto that.
Workspace or like home life, right? Because it's like your day-to-day, your 6th house is like what you do. So it's like if you get off of work and then you cook dinner for the kids and then you give them a shower, and then it's like also those types of routine pieces.
100%. So it's bringing up the themes around the emotional cost of overgiving and the need to restore physical and energetic boundaries. Because Venus, remember Venus domicile in Taurus, she is your ruler, right? Taurus rising, you are ruled by Venus, and she's in your first house right now. So she's very strong here, and she's with Ceres, the mother goddess. So this lunation is really encouraging nourishment and emotional embodied care.
I was gonna say, I keep seeing a visual of like loving up on yourself by like combing your hair, you know, like doing some kind of routine wellness piece that feels like pouring into you and restoring you.
Yes, we were just talking about our face routine before we started recording. I was like, I gua sha every day. Like, it's such a beautiful self-love practice that's so simple. It doesn't require a lot of your time, and it's connected to beauty and sensuality and pleasure. It just feels good. You can get a little jade tool for like $5. Just all you do, up and out. That's it. Super simple. So with the Taurus rising, healing happens when you create daily rituals that truly sustain you.
Yes.
Gemini rising, this is a fun one for y'all. So this Libra full moon is illuminating your 5th house of creativity, joy, and romance. So this full moon may bring revelations around love, creativity, or self-expression. So something in your heart wants to be expressed honestly. So possible themes coming up for you are romantic clarity, releasing creative self-doubt, and embracing vulnerability in artistic expression. So the Three of Swords with this lunation could represent creative bravery, allowing for your heart to be seen even in the wounding. So your joy deepens when you just express your truth. Because again, we've talked about this, Gemini rising. Y'all are here to be embodied as the messengers. Your voice matters. What you have to share matters. So
yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling like something like messy art or something like that. I don't know.
Or
like,
messy love affairs.
Yeah. Like, I don't know why I feel like the portal to go into this change is like embracing chaos or messiness and then like moving past that and finding like the healing piece or the understanding or all the stuff aligning. It feels a little wonky to me for the Gemini risings. Like, it feels like, I feel like it's like, I don't know. It feels, I'm feeling a lot of like that, like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
That's what it's giving.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like self-expression is very personal, you know?
That's probably because the Taurus piece in the 12th house is
Venus
and Taurus.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I'm like, it just feels like you're like pushing really hard through something. So it's like your subconscious, it's needing to break through that and that stubbornness piece there.
Yeah.
I don't know, like maybe do something like really different. Like wear something that you normally wouldn't, or like, you know, like get that contrast piece to shake you out of it if you're feeling a little like stubborn or stuck.
Love it. Yeah, be playful. Gemini rising, I love how, you know, Gemini is the trickster side of Mercury, so you are here to be playful, fun, and flirty. So I love it. Okay, Cancer rising. This Libra full moon is illuminating your 4th house of home and emotional roots. So this lunation is shining a light on your family dynamics and your emotional foundation. So you may feel a strong pull to address something within your private life. So themes could include ancestral emotional patterns coming up, healing a family relationship, or redefining what home truly means to you. So with Jupiter exalted in your 1st house, squaring the moon, oh my goodness, Cancer rising, emotions may feel really amplified, yet this is your opportunity to create deeper emotional sanctuary within yourself.
Yeah, I keep seeing like native people doing a dance.
Oh my gosh, I've been doing
singing.
that every morning. I'm not a Cancer rising, but I've been putting on my I have Cherokee ancestry, and I've been putting on specifically Cherokee drums and dancing.
Yeah, I keep hearing the music, and I keep seeing them dancing. It feels definitely like an ancestral piece, like how you're saying, like the 4th house ancestry. I don't know. I feel like it's a way to like, maybe if it's hard for you to logically address it, maybe moving it through your body with this kind of like ritual or cultural thing that relates to your ancestry. Like every culture has like their own dances and things like that, and you don't have to be perfect at it, especially if you're doing it, you know, in your home. No one's judging you.
I love doing dance parties.
But like people get real nervous. Like imagine if you're like, okay, like for me, my ancestry is Polish, so like polka, like I don't know how to dance polka.
I also put on like Celtic music, and I will like river dance. Do I do it perfectly?
That's what I'm saying. Is like just try. just move your body how it moves, how the music moves you, you know, authentically. But I don't know why I just kept feeling like this like need to unite with some kind of like ritual or ancestral piece, or like uniting the body and the voice. I don't know.
I love that, because that brings in the ancestral healing. Yeah. Right? Like the practices like that, the movement, or like the food, right? Like connecting that way could bring
Cancer risings, food, cooking. They often do like food and cooking. So maybe doing something like that. Like we talk a lot about how when you cook, the energy that your love goes into the food, right?
Yeah.
You could cook something where you put your anger
Yeah.
into it, where you put your sadness into it, you know, and you leave that as an offering, or you don't eat it, right? Or you do want to eat it. Maybe you do want to eat the sadness so you can feel like you can process it.
Yeah. Yeah, or maybe it's like with Cancer risings, there is something coming up around a family pattern, because again, the full moon shines this big bright light, and it's telling you this pattern stops with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to be aware of it, and you got to do the work to heal it, Cancer rising.
Yeah, and you have Jupiter here supporting you.
Oh my gosh, you're so protected. You got, oh my gosh, Cancer risings, so many blessings. I know for some of y'all it might feel like a very intense, emotional, overwhelming time, but
open up.
I have so many Cancer rising clients, and I was looking at this transit for years, just feeling so excited for the blessings and the abundance.
Yeah, but you're
Jupiter
like the
exalted
optimistic mom from Mean Girls. You're like Amy Poehler in Mean Girls.
I am.
I'm a cool mom.
Totally.
I feel like the intense like transits, you're like, oh, this is gonna be so beautiful, and I'm like, really?
That's Saturn on my ascendant. I'm like, you're gonna grow, honey.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's scary as fuck for people. Don't lie to them. You're like, it's so beautiful, and you're like, but it does feel a little intense. A little intense. Cancers are hiding in their shells, shaking in their boots. They're like, I'm scared.
They're like, I have to acknowledge my family pattern. Get out of here.
I have to come out of my comfort zone?
Yeah.
No, who said that? Expand? No, it's like, yeah, this lunation, the Jupiter in Cancer, is going to be here till July. It's sort of like when the crab gets big and has to leave its shell and find a new shell, you know? Or the hermit crab does that, but like even the regular crabs will shed and then grow a new one, and it's a vulnerable time when they're doing that because they are unprotected. So I get it, but it's what you're doing. You're in that process.
But then y'all will have Jupiter and Leo in your second house. I mean, that's also hella abundance. Like, come on, Cancer rising. Like, y'all are just in this blessed time. Okay, speaking of Leo rising. So this is illuminating your third house of communication. So this full moon may bring up an important conversation, speaking of, or about important conversations, or a realization around how you communicate your truth. So something unsaid or something you've been just brewing within you may finally need to be spoken aloud. It might need to come up to the surface. Yeah. So you may notice clarity within a sibling or a friendship relationship dynamic, a shift in your voice or what it is that you want to say or your message, or a perception shift within emotional honesty emerging within the dialogue, emerging within the conversation. So the medicine here, especially Leo rising, the lion energy, is courageous communication. So your words have the power to restore balance and understanding, but speak from your heart, because Leo rules the heart.
And I was also seeing like Spirit is really highlighting like, how do you speak to yourself?
Yeah,
right.
It's a house of self.
Are you being fair to yourself?
Yeah.
Are you not being honest with yourself? Are you diminishing your feelings, cutting yourself off, not giving yourself space to speak, to express? Have you silenced yourself over time? And that is needing to be cleared. Maybe do like some throat chakra singing, clearing meditation or something, or I don't know, yelling. Fire risings would like yelling. You know,
You're like I'm a fire rising.
Yeah, I love yelling. I love a good yell. Everybody, like, my Aries moon is so intense. It's like balls to the wall, and like people are like, "Oh, you want to yell?" And I'm like, "Fuck it!" Like I'm getting out. That's what real healing is, right?
Yeah.
It's like breaking that wall that you keep yourself in of being like digestible or I don't know, appropriate to society. That when I do emotional somatic healing work with people, I do it like every month in this group class. People are afraid to yell. They're afraid to like feel their feelings authentically, you know? So this is that space to do that. Like if you have harsh words that you need to share, write them down. Burn the paper afterwards. You're fire rising. You love fire. Yeah.
Yeah, yelling can be a healing process, right? Like, and that is also a way we were talking earlier around the beauty of what it means to actually feel the emotion.
Yes.
That's a great process in doing so. And there's a big difference around yelling to release an emotion versus yelling in a relationship dynamic.
Yes,
like there's
right?
a big
We're not yelling at someone, giving them our feelings and making them responsible, but we are giving ourselves space and time to process.
Like what you're saying, like in the car. Like
in the car, in the pillow.
Yep.
In the cabinet. Like definitely doing stuff like that feels very good and transformative.
Yeah. Because Leo risings, honestly, at the end of the day, like, y'all are here to shine. You're here to take up space.
You're dramatic.
Here to be bold. Own it. Don't be shying away.
Be like your words wound me. They kill me. I am dead.
We need the drama, Leo rising. Come on.
I am reborn in this moon.
Okay, Virgo rising.
You're like laughing at my ass still. You're like, Gemini is the jester. I'm like, yep, got a lot of Gemini.
So Virgo rising, this is illuminating your second house of self-worth. Now we gotta get serious. Okay, so this full moon is highlighting your relationship with value, both emotional and material. So you may realize where you've been undervaluing your gifts, giving more than you receive, or holding on to financial and energetic patterns that no longer serve you, Virgo rising.
Yeah.
So the revelation is not meant to wound, but to restore self-respect if it has been lost. So Venus and Taurus in your 9th house is reminding you that your worth is sacred. It is meant to be felt as a lived experience of divinity.
Spirit is saying for Virgo risings, they keep using the word understanding and impatience.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like a spectrum, because I feel like Virgo asks questions and things they want to know, and then like I feel like sometimes they're really concerned with organization and efficiency and all these things, so they can get impatient, and they want things to be like how they're very linear, very clean cut, very logical. And I feel like Virgo also being in service, you might have, like you said, like maybe you at some point, way, shape, or form, you said this is valuable if I show up in this way, in service in this way. And then maybe you're like, oh, I hate that I have to fulfill this role every time, or I have to believe in this thing or uphold this thing after I'm kind of done with it, or I feel guilt over it or shame over it or something like that. Yeah, to me, like they're showing like taking a cape off. It's like taking like a mask off, a layer off, removing. I feel like Virgo risings, I'm feeling very tired in my throat. And it's like, I just feel like you're just like tired of like saying the same thing over, doing the same. If you're in that spot, then that's your sign, right? Like I need to shift the value. I can't keep doing this. And I also feel like there's something around like sacrificing for fairness, because that Libra second house, right? Like I'm not charging more or asking for more because it's unfair, it's rude. I don't know, there's something here needing to be unpacked. I think those are two different experiences that you might have depending upon what's going on in your life. I don't think you might have both of those.
But ultimately, Virgo rising, having Libra as their second house, they value peace. They value
That's
balance.
what I'm saying.
They value harmony.
They might
beauty.
sacrifice, to do, oh, I'll just do it myself.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay, I'll take on, and it's like, you don't always have to be that archetype.
Yeah.
Like 100%. Your peace might cause someone else problems or uncomfortability.
Yeah.
But it's okay. You can value yourself.
100%. Libra rising.
Jinx.
Libra rising. All eyes on you, Jinx.
She like just popped her head up right in time. She's like, I've arrived. Libra rising.
Look at her. She just winked to the camera. So cute.
She's like, I know. Libra Venus also.
Yes.
She's like,
Yeah, Libra rising. This is a big full moon for y'all because it's illuminating your first house of identity. So this is your personal full moon. So it's bringing a culmination point around identity, relationships, and the version of yourself who you are becoming, who you are anchoring into as your true authentic expression. So something about who you are may become clear to you now because, again, that full moon is shining a light on you. So you may experience a shift in self-perception, clarity around a relationship dynamic, and the release of an identity that no longer is in alignment with you.
Yeah.
So the Three of Swords energy suggests emotional honesty with yourself.
Yeah.
The invitation is to rebalance your life with authenticity, for authenticity, around authenticity.
Yeah.
So Venus and Taurus in your 8th house, this is an invitation for you to embrace transformation. Embrace it.
Yeah.
Be yourself.
I keep seeing like this person like dancing and like shedding their skin like a snake. And then I'm getting this feeling of like, you know, like when you're healing your skin, it feels like tight.
Yeah.
So I feel like this process, it might feel kind of like not wrong, but like weird or like uncomfortable in that way where it's like, oh, my skin feels so tight and dry and I'm stretching it. It's like, ooh, it's uncomfortable, but I can still stretch my knee, you know, but it's like my knee feels tight. I'm just thinking about that because I got my tattoo on my knee recently, and so I had that. I was like, ooh, stretching my knee hurts. Yeah. Like, it feels like that feeling to me of like, I'm doing this, but it might not feel like fun and like, yeah, it might feel like, oh, I'm kind of like, I feel like icky or like ugly or, you know, in between as my skin is like shedding, and then my skin is like vulnerable or like it's dry, and then it will emerge.
Yeah, I mean, that's the process of transformation. It's not always like what is perceived as beautiful, but yet that's the Venus moving through your 8th house. There is still beauty within the depths of the darkness.
Yeah. Doesn't Libra rule the skin?
Libra rules over the kidneys.
There's one that does the skin.
The skin. Interesting.
I think it's the skin.
I haven't heard that. I've heard it as the kidneys.
This is
so
annoying.
Who rules over what zodiac sign rules over the skin?
Yeah, outer skin layer, kidneys and lower back.
Kidneys and lower back.
Skin,
I mean,
Libra,
skin is also beauty, right? Like that's this is how we move through the
Libra
world.
risings have that baby face,
We're
fresh
just like
skin.
a sack of meat with this skin, like.
I know. I was just thinking because it's like Spirit is just that bitch. They were like, we're gonna give you a skin metaphor because Libra rules the skin. Like that's why I was like, doesn't Libra rule the skin? Yes.
Trust yourself. You know.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, Libra rising. This is a big one for you, so utilize it.
Oh, I thought you were talking about this.
Scorpio rising. Let's move to Scorpio rising. Okay, Scorpio rising. This is illuminating your 12th house of the unconscious.
But you're no stranger to that because you're Scorpio.
Hell no. You're Scorpio rising. So this full moon reveals something hidden within your inner world. So dreams, intuition, and emotional memories may surface really strongly at this time. So you may become aware of a subconscious relational pattern, something that you've been processing privately, and the need for emotional closure. So this is a deeply spiritual lunation for you. Allow yourself time to rest, reflect, and integrate. Spend time in that solitude, connecting to your unconscious, to the realms beyond this physical.
Yeah, I keep seeing this visual of like the water, and it's like it's like shimmering and rippling, and it's dark and you can't really see, but then there's like a part where the light catches it and it illuminates. I feel like that's sort of the vibe here, where it's like there's a lot going on in the depths in my mind and my subconscious in any of these themes of the 12th house. And it's like that whatever sticks out as like that light is like maybe the part that wants to be illuminated and dealt with. Because I feel like as we're saying this, Scorpio risings are like, which wound in my subconscious? I have 70. And so it's like wherever that like kind of like golden aura of like the light, and it's like kind of like this, I don't know, mermaid like golden hour like nostalgic kind of vibe that I'm seeing. And it's like that's where we have to look at this like dark like water, and it's like so beautiful in this one point, you know.
100%. And Scorpio rising, you will only find that if you allow yourself the time to rest, so you can find what you're saying, that thread.
Yeah, because the control is not going to get you there.
Exactly. Sag rising, ready for you? Yay. Okay, so Sag rising, this is illuminating your 11th house of community where you have your MC. Hello. So this full moon may bring clarity around friendships, alliances, and your future path. So you may notice shifts within a social circle, a realization about who truly supports your vision, and the completion of a collaborative chapter or some kind of release, right? Because full moons bring up illumination, release. So with Lilith and Sagittarius in your first house supporting this full moon, your authenticity is magnetic, right? Like we were saying
Feral.
with Lilith, she is wild, untamed. So you're being asked to align your community with your deeper truth and with the true sense of freedom for you, Sag risings.
Yeah, I'm seeing some kind of argument. Like, I'm seeing, like, arguing your side with another person, with, like, a friend or something like that. Definitely around those, like, power dynamic type pieces of Lilith. I don't know. That feels like something that some people could be having. It doesn't feel like it's, like, a friendship ending argument, but it just feels like it's, like, well, you're thinking this. Well, you're thinking that. Like, it just feels like it's, like, we're talking about, like, well, the way that you showed up is not how I like for you to show up. Oh, the way that you showed up is not how I like for you to show up. I'm definitely seeing that. I'm also seeing this, like, escapism, because sometimes Sag rising can be, I'm thankful for my Aries moon for helping me not escape everything. Yeah, they tend to, there's, like, the stereotype, the archetype with Sag placements that they just, like, leave a trail of fire and brimstone behind them as they just, like, run away from their problems and leave everybody else to deal with them in the wake of it.
That's Jupiter.
Yeah. And so I feel like there's something around that where it's like, maybe you can't just keep doing that anymore, and maybe that comes to reckon with you in your friendships or in your community dynamics. Like, hey, man, you didn't do what you should have done and you just left, and now, like, we had to do all this stuff for you. And yeah, it does feel like that. It feels like we're, like, having to eat humble pie and, like, thank people for helping us or something like that,
or asking for that support if you need it.
Because, like, with the Black Moon Lilith, we might be like, no, I can do it on my own. And it's like, okay, but, like, if your friends are giving you the green light and saying that they want to help you, then, like, get the help.
100%. Yep. Okay, Capricorn rising. This is a big one for you, Capricorn rising.
10th house.
Sit in the circle. This is illuminating your 10th house of public life. So this full moon is bringing revelations around your purpose and professional direction. So something about your role in the world may come into focus, may come into the light. So themes could include recognition, visibility, clarity around career direction, and emotional realization about success and what true fulfillment means for you. So you may be asked to rebalance ambition with relational integrity. So your legacy is not just what you are achieving, but how you treat people along the way. So with Venus in your 5th house, themes around creativity and self-expression are coming into the light. So how are you utilizing your skill sets, your creative abilities in your career path, Capricorn rising?
I keep seeing, like, someone perceiving you or commenting on your reputation, or maybe, like, acknowledging you in some way, shape, or form in your career, legacy, reputation. And I keep seeing this, like, rejection of it, like someone's face being like, oh, like, I don't want to. And so I feel like your maybe challenge might be to take a step back and see how others are seeing you, see how the world is perceiving you, and see if you can somehow, like, reconcile that in a positive way that supports, like, it's almost like you're being called to some kind of initiation and you're like, I don't want to do it that way. That's not what I saw for myself. That's not what I want for myself. And it's like, well, but if people are seeing you in this way and they're saying, like, I need more of this from you, or I want more of this from you, or can you share more of this with the world, and you're immediately resistant, like, maybe that's where the medicine is, right? Where it's like, if I'm rejecting this, why am I rejecting it? Does it feel like it's just not in alignment, or is it a fear? or I'm being stubborn because, Capricorn energy is like, well, I have my 30-year plan and I'm going to be executing that 30-year plan and it will go exactly how I want it to go. And maybe it just feels like someone's bringing something that it doesn't like match up with that plan that maybe you have. And you're needing to sort of like get through that initial like rejection feeling of it and then open up to it.
Yeah, I could see that for Capricorn rising, because ultimately this full moon is asking, like,
what's your next step?
Yeah, and also like, what do you desire to be known for? What are you already known for?
Yeah, that's why I just feel like someone's bringing that reflection to you, and it's like, it's okay if that's how people are seeing. Well, maybe you're like, well, now I want to change if I don't like how people are perceiving me that way. You know,
because ultimately, like, you're here to be known for the Libra qualities, right? You're here to be known
fair
for
and just.
Beauty, peace,
harmony, aesthetics.
Maybe this is like a rebranding too for Capricorn rising.
It totally could be a rebrand.
Yeah.
But I'm hearing weight. So it's like, don't be impulsive.
Just shining the light on
it. Don't be impulsive and just like rebrand yourself, but like let it sink in. Like it just feels like it's really important for you to understand the why behind it all.
Yes. Yeah, what is your legacy? What is it that you want to leave behind? Because ultimately, Capricorn risings, they incarnate with that in their heart space. There's a bigger mission for Capricorn risings around what they want to leave behind on this earth. So the Libra rising is giving you those, or the Libra energy is giving you those clues for the reputation, for the recognition.
Yeah.
So, okay, Aquarius rising. So this is illuminating your 9th house of belief systems. So this Libra full moon may bring a shift in your belief systems or your worldview. So you may suddenly recognize something about your spiritual philosophy, your relationship to truth, or to a path of study or teaching, because the 9th house rules over higher levels of education. So the full moon trine Pluto, who is in your 1st house, that's a really big deal, suggests profound inner transformation. So your perspective is expanding in ways that will shape your future path. Yet, Venus in your 4th house, Aquarius rising, is asking you to cultivate safety within the transformation that you're in.
I don't know. There's something about like those 9th house, like philosophy, ideas, beliefs. It feels like there's something in there that is shifting, maybe around those Libra qualities, like that, how we were talking about the authenticity and the harmony piece.
Yep.
Like, it just feels like, did I have this belief because it was easier? You know, Aquarius rising's already rebellious. So sometimes they're just like, you know what, fuck it. Like, I just don't want to have to deal with this constant onslaught of people being against me and like fighting with me, and going against the grain can get very tiring in our society, because they just make it so freaking hard, dude. Yeah, and I feel like honestly, Spirit is saying no brainer. Like, whatever this thing is, it feels like it's like a no brainer. Like, why am I upholding this system or this belief or this philosophy, or or maybe you open up to a new one or cultural thing that like gives you this aha moment that you need. And I also feel this fear around putting yourself out there, because the 9th house is about like that long-term travel or like expansion or like publishing, sharing things with the world at large, you know? So I feel like there's some part of you that I see this like seesaw where you're like, I want to say it, I don't want to say it, I want to put it out there, I don't want to put it out there. And I think there's a part of you that just needs to like figure it out and decide which one you want to do. Because I feel like they're like, either decide you don't want to do it and close the door and move on, or decide that you want to do it and accept it and do it. Like, I feel like this, you don't like being in this limbo piece. Like, it feels like I'm being pulled in 2 directions.
Yeah, because your worldview, your perception of life shapes how you operate and move through the worlds. If you believe something is possible, then you take the actions towards that. If your belief system says, oh, well, that's not acceptable or possible, then it just shuts it down. Yeah. So it does come back to your belief.
Yeah, it's like, do you believe in yourself to do that? Yes. If you don't think that you can, then you won't. Yep. And you won't succeed. But you're ruled by Saturn, right? So it's like, you know that work and effort and consistency add up to pay off.
Yeah. And again, Pluto transiting through your first house. Like, y'all are in a massive transformation cycle for the next 20 years.
Yeah, so like buckle up, you know, like you're maybe already feeling it, but you need to just do it. Just be it for the next 20 years. Like, why put it off? Yeah. Don't put it off. You could be so different at the end of this.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, no Aquarius rising is going to be the same after this Pluto.
I feel like some of them are going to be like, okay, bet. You know, Aquarius can be a little stubborn. Yeah. Yeah, they're like, oh, you I'm never gonna change. That's hilarious.
Okay, Pisces rising. Fellow Pisces risings. Okay, this full moon is illuminating our 8th house of emotional depth. It's an intense full moon. Mm-hmm. So this full moon is bringing emotional truth around intimacy, trust, and energetic exchange for us. So themes may include vulnerability in relationships, financial exchanges, relational entanglements, and deep emotional healing. Yeah. So the 3 of Swords here is around emotional intimacy. It's true connection that requires the courage to reveal the heart fully, because ultimately the 8th house is merging. So if we're not honest and authentic, then how can we be fully merged in any relationship dynamic? So this lunation invites us to release fear and step into a deeper emotional sovereignty around who we are sharing energy with ultimately.
Yeah, that's literally like the visual I was seeing was like Pisces sort of being thrown in the depth of these scorpionic waters, because the 8th house is naturally ruled by Scorpio. And I was seeing them just like crying and being kind of scared. And then like this kind of figure coming from behind them and like opening up their chest. And like that, like literally before you said like the vulnerability piece, I'm like, it's literally what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, but I feel like there's like, I don't know, sometimes the Pisces risings, they feel a lot of feelings, but there's sometimes this aversion to going to the depths and the dark. Like, I feel like they feel a lot, but they don't want to feel the bad things or the icky things or the dark things or the unknown and scary things. And I just feel like this is your space to kind of, like, they're showing, like, crying and your eyeliner streaming down your face, you know? Like, it just feels like it's that space to do that. I feel like the Pisces risings, you've been holding on to something very heavy here in relationships with others. And it just feels like you're ready, you're scared, but like wanting to let go of this.
Yeah, like I feel as a Pisces rising myself, I do have a pattern in relationship dynamics where I can be overly compassionate, where I give people
and you're like positive about the bad stuff, and I'm just like, bro.
Yeah.
It's scary.
And it's hard for me always to see that people don't have my best interests at heart, and then I just let myself be taken advantage of.
Yeah. I think it's okay to
be time again.
I think for the Pisces risings, it's like you need to learn how to remain vulnerable and be vulnerable, but without like feeling like you need to lose yourself, or you need to get taken advantage of, or you need to get pulled outside of yourself, or let others dictate you. Like, being vulnerable doesn't mean you're weak and you can be led, you know, like a carrot with a stick. Yeah. Being vulnerable, like, you need to be like, me sharing my vulnerability with you is a gift. And if you cannot receive it and appreciate it and respect it, then I'm not going to be vulnerable with you anymore. And if, let's say, who you are as a person is like, I'm always going to be vulnerable, then maybe I'm not going to have you in my life anymore, because I don't feel like I can be 100% myself anymore. And I don't want to like entertain that, you know?
Yes. 100%. This, I feel like, is going to be a really intense full moon for me personally, because it will be in a conjunction to my ruling planet, Jupiter, in the 8th house. So that might be that presence you were feeling, like, coming behind and opening through this massive presence. Like,
it was kind of cool. It was like this black figure that kind of looked kind of scorpionic, and it like was kind of made out of bones, and then it like melded with your bones, and then it was like opening you up. Yeah, so super cool.
We'll see. We'll spill the tea next time on our personal stuff that comes up, because it's a big deal for both of us. It's happening with your MC too. So.
The Pisces stuff from March, like, I sent like this gift to Thailand. I was like, all Pisces season, I've just been like, like I'm getting punched. Like, it was just like, Jesus Christ. Because it's my fourth house, and like my wounds with my mom and shit were coming up. I was like, whoa, this has hands. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like the final culmination, right, with the Pisces moon that we had, the new moon that we had.
Yeah,
literally
the
last
new
night
moon,
we're recording this.
I
right
also
after
felt like the
moon.
North Node being there. Like, there was just a lot. And then we had like Mars and Venus, and like we had Mercury. Like, we had all the planets there. I was just like, oh, I'm getting shot at, you know? Like, it's so much.
Yeah, because all of that's asking you to redefine what safety really means for you, what your true connection to home is.
Yeah. That shit was rough. Also, I was like reorganizing my home. I was like, we need to reorganize everything. Because I think, like, I don't remember if like Vesta was there, but I was just like, we need to clean a closet every week. Like, I was, and then I looked it up. I was like, the home.
Devotion to the home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like, we were supposed to do some like projects. We bought these like vinyl floor thingies to change like our apartment because we're renting. And then finally we were just like, we've had this for over a year and we haven't done it. Let's just fucking not do it. So some ending stuff too. Just being like, let's call it quits. We're not going to do this.
Yeah.
It'll help me clean it out, you know?
Yeah.
Just accept and not have like this open tab like in my brain of like, are we going to do this renovation or not?
Yeah. That's why I felt like the new moon wasn't fully a new moon. It felt like a closing.
It did.
Like a completion too.
It totally, I had like more layers around like my relationship with my mom come up. I wrote this whole like poem because like, I mean, I've talked about it on the podcast before, but my mom's still alive, but I was going to make an inappropriate joke. But yeah, I haven't talked to her for years. So it was also kind of interesting that it was like the year anniversary during Pisces season. So it's like I cut her off during Pisces season in my 4th house of ancestry and family dynamics. And then that year anniversary came up again in Pisces season. And I was like, oh man, I'm really feeling this sadness from this. And I had a revelation. My friend told me about BPD, the borderline personality disorder, and she's also into astrology, and she was like, I notice a lot of Aries moons tend to have BPD because it's like they get trapped in that victim mentality piece. And she was like telling me about her other friend who also has like a similar kind of vibe to my mom, where like she remembers her childhood is like so intense, right? Because my mom has an Aries moon. But then like her family really wasn't like that. Like her parents weren't abusive and all these things, and her mom didn't really yell. Her mom was actually quiet and didn't really say a lot, so it was like weird to me. But my friend was like, oh yeah, my other friend who has an Aries moon, same thing. Like the parents were strict, but they weren't abusive, you know? And
the assertion though, the aggression of Aries with the emotional, the nurturing, the mother care,
and like she was saying like, the BPD people, they like can't get out of that victim mentality, and that's how my mom is. So I had that kind of like aha moment, and then I wrote this like poem and I shared it on my personal Instagram. And it was like my very Aries moon. Like, I hate that you did this. I hate that you did that. I hate that you did this. Like, I was just like really getting like the feelings of like the sadness out.
Oh my goodness, I didn't see that. No,
I'll show it to you. I have a screenshot. But yeah, I tend to process my emotions with poetry because my Gemini, Mercury, and Venus.
Same. Mercury and Pisces.
But yeah, that Pisces, and that was like on the lunation. I was like rough. I was like, okay, we're going through it. We're doing it. Yeah.
Interesting though. I mean, that makes sense with the moon and the Aries piece too, with that particular like quality, because Aries is the identity and the moon is the emotion, and that could create then identity structures that shift. Yeah,
because they say like with BPD, it usually happens at some point in the childhood. Something happens that triggers it.
Yeah.
So it kind of made sense to me, because I feel like she has that sort of like arrested development back in that age, and she can't get past it, and she keeps feeling like the victim, and she doesn't ever want to like look at it and heal it.
Yeah. And then the Aries energy around the like not thinking anything is wrong with it.
Yes.
The Aries.
Well, she famously is like, I just decided I'm gonna be myself, and if you don't like it, that sucks. You know, you can take it or leave it. And I'm just like, but you're being a bitch.
This is exactly why we need the polarity of Libra, because it's not just the self.
Yeah, it's not. She's like, it's my way or the highway, and I'm like, then I'm not gonna talk to you. Sorry.
Yeah.
yeah, I feel for all the people who have difficult family members.
Yeah.
I tried for years before I cut her off. I really tried. Yeah. I did a lot of work on myself.
Yeah. You made it through your Saturn return, Saturn in your 4th house. You made it through. So, yeah.
I did. I made it through. It wasn't too bad. That was my main, I feel.
Yes.
My main test.
Yeah. So ultimately, with this Libra full moon, when the heart... Oh, go ahead.
I also had a lot of family members volunteering me for favors and things.
Oh, weird.
The lack of boundaries with Pisces and my Saturn Pisces there. Like, I literally had to be like, no, why are you volunteering me to do... It was like shit like...
Create the Saturn
It was some crazy shit. Like, my dad lives in Vegas. He has a friend who lives in Vegas, and he's separated, and the mom was going to take their daughter to Disneyland for the first time. And I guess, like, the mom is, like, crazy or something. And so the dad that he's friends with was, like, really nervous. And so they just, like, volunteered me. They were like, so if anything bad happens when they come out here to Disneyland, since you live in California, you can go pick her up from Disneyland. And I was like, first of all, I've never met these people. This 12-year-old child has never met me. What? Disneyland is over an hour away. Yeah. I don't even know what day.
The traffic to get there.
They didn't even tell me the day, the time, and I was like, "You're just volunteering me to be their emergency contact." Like it was just some. And then like my dad, it was all my dad. Yeah. My dad was like, "Oh, can you pick up this guitar from your uncle for me?" It's like he asked me to like broker this like peace deal between him and my uncle over this beef over this guitar for years that they've been like, that's mine, it's mine, I don't have it, I do have it. And like he just like volunteered me to go pick it up all the way in West Hills and like drive it all the way to Las Vegas for him. I was like, what is happening? I had to be like, the Saturn in me was like, girl, why are people asking me to do this shit?
Yeah.
It happened with two other things, but those were like less severe. But that was crazy.
Yeah. But you learned how to say no.
I literally was like, nobody asked me, they just told me. And then like he was like, no, you're right, that's true. And I had to be like, sorry, no, there's a boundary here. Like, you didn't even ask me.
I'm busy, I'm working, I'm a business owner.
It's crazy to me.
Like,
so crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so ultimately this Libra full moon with the 3 of Swords energy, when the heart allows truth to pass through it, even if it's painful, even if it hurts, this is when we are able to experience relationships that are aligned, where there's reciprocity, and relationships that are real. And that is beauty. That's the Libra energy. It all comes back to beauty.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Let's do a few of these other transits.
Do we want to get into it, or do you want to close here?
No, I think a few other. Let's do a few others.
So April 9th through May 17th, we have Mars in Aries. So the warrior returning home, because Mars is domicile in both the signs of Scorpio and Aries. So this is a really intense and very powerful transit, because Mars at home, this is a force of nature, y'all.
So let me stop you, because you said terms that maybe people might not know.
Yes, please do.
So Mars is the natural ruler of Aries and Scorpio. Mm-hmm. So when we say it's domicile or at home, it just means like, because you're the natural ruler, these energies like vibe. It's like circle fits into the circle hole. Like they just go together, like bread, peanut butter, and jelly. Mars is the god of war. In astrology, Mars represents our masculine energy, our motivation, like how we do things, what motivates us to do things, like how we have sex. It's the archetype of the warrior, and Aries is also a warrior. So it's like Aries, Mars in Aries as the ruler is like the warrior, like going into battle. And then like Mars ruling over Scorpio is like the spy. Yeah.
Yeah. The one like
behind the scenes, planning, controlling.
Yes, it's manipulative.
Spy.
Whereas like Aries in Mars is like brute force.
Yeah, like gladiator. Yeah. I always think of Brad Pitt in the Troy movie. It's
Oh my
the
God,
story
I
about.
haven't seen that movie.
You
I
should.
feel like I should see
You
that
should.
movie.
I always think of him when I think of like the Mars Aries gladiator warrior guy. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it makes sense because, yeah, Mars and Aries, it really is this pure, undiluted initiative, drive, courage,
Yes.
instinct, bravery, and this forward momentum.
Yeah, sometimes impulsive even.
It definitely is impulsive.
Hot-headed.
But it's also the trust of your instinct, right?
Yes.
Because Mars and Aries is... I always say Aries is like the lighter, right? The flame is there and then it's gone. And it really is that energy of like, I got that hit. I'm going to trust it. I'm going to go after it.
It's like the modern day would be like athletes, right? Using our instinct to just make the call.
Yeah. Historically, when Mars is in Aries, movements start to accelerate, right? Because of that forward momentum. Mm-hmm. So breakthroughs and confrontations might erupt. Innovation also skyrockets with Mars and Aries because
people
it's
put
take
stuff
action,
out there.
do it, go for it.
You might like get into an accident or like a fight or something if you are being impulsive and hot-headed. So just be aware of that. I live every day with that as an Aries moon.
Yes. But people, because Mars rules over the physicality and the drive, they may become more bold, more courageous.
You might put on the thing that you're scared to put on during that time. Mm-hmm.
And also impatient. We might see like anger start to surface. Yeah.
Like you're just like waiting at the light and you're like, hurry up! I have to get there.
Yes. And Mars and Aries on a collective scale is really giving us the will to act, right? Again, so it's like taking the initiative, not hesitating.
Yeah. It's almost like you died in Mars and Pisces and you're being like shocked back to life and you're like, ooh, like you're coming back with all the adrenaline.
100%. And this energy is only going to amplify when we have the Aries new moon later in the month. So we're going to do a whole deep dive into that. Yeah. But essentially with Mars and Aries, I wrote the warrior is home, baby. Yeah. So let's go.
Yeah, maybe take like a boxing class. Yeah. Especially if you have Aries placements, I would try some kind of physical movement. Aries needs, like a warrior needs to train.
Yes.
And if you have Aries placements, I don't know, this is a theory I'm testing that I've been talking to other Aries placements, so I'd love to hear your opinion on this. Having a weapon in your hand just feels so comfortable. Like, I always want to have, like, a knife in my hand or, like, a staff in my hand. I was talking to other Aries placements, and they were like, hell yeah, that always feels good. Like, when I'm, like, cooking and I'm talking with a knife, it just feels so natural to me.
Interesting. The Eight of Cups is my embodiment card. So if you're not familiar with that card, it features someone who is walking in the nighttime into this mountainous setting. Yeah. And they have a staff. And it is one of my life goals to have a personalized staff that has a owl at the top and then a snake around it carved in.
Dude, we can make this. I don't know
how to make stuff like that. That's my dream, though.
You just need to go into nature and get a good piece of wood, and then you whittle that, and then you use clay, and you just build the snake and the owl.
Yes. Mainly for my hip walking. Yeah. But it also could be seen as a weapon. So
for sure.
That's interesting.
Or you could use it at Run Fair.
Well,
People usually have the ones with the crystals on the top.
Oh,
I got really into that because I wanted to make one too because I love having the weapon in my hand.
I told Love, I was like, let's go to Ren Fair this year.
I go every year because my cousin is like a Ren Fair person. Like all of her friends work there. So
I haven't gone the past 2 years, but I have been, and I think it's fun.
I crocheted a whole elven cloak, a floor-length hooded cloak.
Are you gonna be an elven creature?
I have elf ears that have piercings on them that I put on.
I might be fairy.
I always want to be an elf. Elf always. Always elf. I definitely have fairy energy, but elf over everything. I don't know. I vibe with it. Frankie's always like, but for the Ren Fair time period, but my culture. So he would want to be like a Mashika warrior or something like that. And that's just a lot of money to invest. So, because they have people who do like their own culture, because that's the gripe for Ren Fair is that it's all like white people culture. Yeah. So yeah, it's cool. They sometimes have like samurai people that walk around.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like I've seen
people do it. People do it. He just has to like commit, you know?
Yeah.
He feels weird around Ren Fair people, so
Really?
He doesn't like them.
I feel like there is a difference between like, you know, like casually going every other year.
The Ren Fair people.
Like
that's a whole other episode.
Yeah. We won't touch on that. But yeah, with Mars and Aries, be bold. Do the thing that you have been hesitating to do. Yeah. Take the action on it. Go for it.
Say your truth. Go tell your crush you like them. Wear that sexy red outfit.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Mars loves red. And Aries
Mars is so
Aries
sexy.
Colors. Mars, my Aries moon is always out with the red.
So sexy. And like the raw sexual power, right? That magnetizes.
The eye contact. That's what Aries has, the eye contact with you. And you're like, oh, yeah.
We talked about this, how Aries placements are very...
They always say that Aries is the one that got away, the Aries placements, because they love you harder than anyone has ever loved you. And so you're like, man. Oh my God.
You remember the live I did the other day? It was one of my exes who was also on the live. Like,
that's who it was?
Yes.
Okay, because I felt like it was your ex.
And I was like, I'm not.
I literally got that. I got that psychic thing where I was like, why are they telling you to move back? This is your ex?
God.
He's like, I miss you, Talon. You never sucked my dick so good. He's like, no one doesn't like you, please.
Like, stop.
And you're like, sucks a suck, bitch.
Yes. Get out of here.
You're like, fly out here. I'm not going to do anything for a man. Ew.
Not even if you flew out here.
I know, I'm making a joke.
I'm trying to get a girlfriend.
You're like, there's already, like, the penis slot is fulfilled. I don't need another.
Yeah. The penis slot.
Yeah, you have two slots. You want a vagina and you want a penis.
As a bi woman, for sure. I feel like bi women out there, you know, you get it.
Let us know. Email us.
Okay, do we want to get into Mercury and Aries, or do we want to close here on this weirdly?
No, let's finish Mercury and Aries.
Mercury and Aries. Okay, April 14th.
I like that because then we'll do the new moon next.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
April 14th through May 1st, we have Mercury and Aries, which is the bold speaker. So Mercury and Aries thinks fast, speaks fast, decides things very quickly.
Says it without thinking.
Yes, the impulsive energy, but with the mental energy and expression. So collectively, this is bringing through bold announcements, courageous conversations, sudden ideas and initiatives, and a cultural push towards deeper levels of honesty.
Yeah.
So this is the month where the collective says, all right, let's get to the point.
Yeah.
Get to the point.
Yelling.
Like
New York culture. Like, hey, I'm walking here. Get out of my way.
Josh loves to do that. Because people are crazy.
Oh, in our neighborhood, they don't stop. They always almost run us over.
Anytime you see a Mercedes. Sorry, people drive Mercedes, but like, watch out for pedestrians.
No, it's a deeper thing, and I don't want to sound racist, so I'm not going to say why that's the case in our neighborhood, but there's a particular culture that lives in our neighborhood, and so there's a lot of Armenian people in our neighborhood, and if you think about, like, their culture, like, the personal space, like, it's just different. Like, they don't feel like the pedestrian has the right of way. They just go when they can go. And out here in California, the pedestrian has the right of way. And they just, like, they can't help it. They, like, the second you get halfway through the crosswalk, they're, like, gunning it. They're like, oh, I had to wait for this person to walk. Like, people, if you're at the crosswalk, they won't wait for you. They just blow past you.
I don't know if it's necessarily...
Well, because Armenian people like to drive BMW and Mercedes.
But I have a lot of neighbors that I feel
I'm not saying all of them. I'm not saying all of them.
Also... very kind.
I'm not saying they're mean. I'm just saying their culture when they drive is like, get out of my way. You can still be a great person and a shitty driver, you know? That's okay. Sometimes I'm a shitty driver. I have double fire signs. Sometimes I'm a shitty driver.
Double fire signs.
When I get upset, I'm like, get out of my way. And I'm like, you know?
Yeah.
That happened to me one time. I almost got into an accident. I was like, okay, I need to calm down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just... Yeah, people in our neighborhood do not wait for you. They don't care. We've had to be like, hello, I'm walking, literally.
Yeah, like I saw an incident the other day where someone almost ran this older man walking across the street with groceries.
They don't like
and
see.
Then he told the man, like, I'm walking here, and then the guy was like cussing him off driving.
Yeah, they don't care. They're like, it's an inconvenience that they have to stop for you. Also, a lot of the children, like the young 19, 20-year-old kids, they're mostly dudes. They're driving their like nice BMW. Yeah. They just think that they own the road, and it's like, girl,
get out of here.
Girl, you barely came out of your mother's womb. Like, please.
But this is where the beauty of Mercury and Aries is. It's because, okay, I'm just going to be direct and honest with you. That behavior is unacceptable.
Oh, I yell in the street. I'm like, ah! And I make them stop, and then I walk really slow.
Hell yeah.
And I make them wait.
Josh loves to do that, too.
And I'm like, oh, and I take a picture of their license plate so I can report them.
That's y'all's Cancer sun. Petty as fuck.
Literally, I was like, take a picture, Frankie, and I stood in front of the car, and he like pulled out his phone and he took a photo, and we're like, we're gonna report you to the police, because you can. They have a form where you can. Yeah. We looked it up. We were like, we need to do something about these fools. Every time we have the little poop bag, he's like, just if someone runs me over, I'm gonna throw this at their car.
Hell yeah.
It's a whole saga. Like, people just hate waiting here. It is crazy.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Nothing else. Like,
it's just the men. The young men, the old men, they don't care. Mercury and Aries. Yeah, yell back at them.
Yeah.
Clear your throat chakra during this time.
Yeah.
Say it. Yell it. Say the F word a bunch of times. Listen to angsty music. Get it out.
100%. I love that we're talking about LA traffic and walking with this, because really
it's the bane of everyone's existence in LA. Like, why does it take 30 minutes to go 10 miles? to 30 minutes to go 5 miles.
Oh my god.
It used to take me over an hour to go 10 miles to my job.
This is why I'm so grateful I can just walk to you.
Yes.
Like,
and then I can work from home. I'm like, you come to my house. I'm not driving.
Yeah. I will walk a block over. Let's do it. Okay. Historically, Mercury in Aries correlates with new, because Aries is the beginning, the birthing point. So perhaps new political campaigns, new public declarations. It could also be breakthroughs in science and tech, and abrupt shifts within communication. Mercury and Aries, again, as the pioneer, strengthens that archetypal energy of the trailblazer. So language is like this flaming torch of, this is what I said, this is how I said it, this is what I meant. Yeah. Like, that's the energy.
Jinx has an Aries Mercury.
Yeah. Just watch out for the impatience piece, especially paired with the Mars in Aries. I mean,
and Saturn in Aries, right? And Neptune in Aries.
And Persephone in Aries.
Yeah, like that Saturn is going to be like, hey, man, watch your tone. Yeah. Hey, don't do that.
Yeah.
And Aries
and
rules.
Sun in Aries, too.
The Aries rules the head, right? So be careful of, like, head injuries, especially when Mars is in Aries. Yeah. Especially if you're being impulsive and not listening, hitting your head. I'll maybe your eyes hurting, like all different stuff like that. Yeah.
So we have a lot more to get into.
Yeah, well, we'll open with the new moon. I like that. So when you are receiving this, our astrology mystery school, the Celestial Circle, so aptly named to match our podcast, will be officially starting in like a couple weeks. So we did, by this time, we've done our free first course. So we have this whole mystery school is 55 classes. It's like a long-term integration over 2 years of learning astrology and its intersection with tarot, with angelic wisdom. We'll be doing meditations and Reiki activations and live readings. And so you're really going to go in depth over 55 classes learning all the planets, all the zodiac signs, each decan of the zodiac sign, the tarot cards associated with it, all these different pieces. There's going to be way more than what I just said. So you can you can download our first class for free. So if you want to just check out what's our learning style, we might like post it just on the podcast so you can just like see it. And then if you want to join in for all the entire course, you can. Our next class is going to be on April 16. So that's like when we officially start with like the paid stuff. So it'll be class number 2. And yeah, you can pay in full. You can do a payment plan. It's only, if you do it in this introductory window before April 16th, it's only $72 a month. And then it's going to go up a little bit. It'll be $79 after that. It's $2,000 or $2,200 basically. And you just pay it off over the entirety of the course. So you have a long time to pay it off, and it's really accessible and affordable.
Yeah.
Or you can drop in per class. Like maybe you're like, I already know some stuff, but like, I really want to learn more about Uranus. So I'm going to take the Uranus class when it comes around. We'll be posting all of that. So make sure you follow us. Make sure you subscribe to our newsletter. You can see our Eventbrite and all this stuff.
Yes.
But we really hope if you want to take your astrology skills to the next level, you will be able to do like readings when you come out of this. You'll be able to be like, oh, I know how to read my chart. I know how to read my friend's chart. I know how to maybe understand how to track transits better.
Yes.
Yeah. So we really want to invite you into that. It's going to be really fun. We're doing like multimodality. We're going to be really inclusive. We're going to have audio and video versions. So like however you learn best, if you want to come live, if you want to see the recording, you can get any and all of that. And if you sign on for the whole program, you'll still get the live readings. You get priority for the live readings, even if you don't show up, because we'll have your chart and we'll just bring it up every time for whatever that class is talking about.
Yes.
Yeah. So subscribe to the podcast, share with everybody you know.
Yes.
Leave us a review if you enjoy it. Follow us on like YouTube. We have it on there as well.
And ask us any questions that
Yeah.
you have.
Send
If
us
you're
in
curious
questions,
about
please.
these transits. If you're like, oh my gosh, I have Aries in this house. What's coming up with this? And I have this placement here. Send us your questions.
Yeah.
Like, sit in the circle with us.
Yeah.
We want to support you.
Yeah.
That's why we have this podcast.
How was Pisces season for you?
Yeah.
Did you get your ass handed to you like how I did? We want it to feel like you're here, even though it's a format where you can't really be here.
But I also feel like podcasts create the environment where maybe you're going on a walk listening to this. Maybe you're cooking listening to this. Maybe you're doing your yoga and stretching. And we want it to feel like you are in the room with us and present and in the conversation with us. Yeah. So we want to hear any questions that you have. I feel like we don't say that enough, but it is why we created this new format for you to sit in the circle with us. Yeah. So please send us any questions.
Yeah, stories, questions, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool.
All right.
Well, we'll see you for the rest of April in our next episode.
Yes. And if you consent, you can receive this kiss on the mouth. Double kiss. Thank you for listening to the Celestial Circle podcast. We are eternally grateful to have you in our cosmic community.
Make sure you subscribe to our podcast wherever you listen.
That way you'll be updated whenever new episodes drop.
Please leave us a review and share with your friends so that our circle grows.
The circle is now closed.
Bye!